Smashing. So welcome back to the next episode of UPbuild. Nice to be back. So we're going to start on the other side of the car this time. So we've got this inner wing to have a look at, which we're going to...
Yeah, we got this inner wing and the rest of the parts along here. We're going to pick them up shortly, and then we'll be able to get them all in one go, so we'll line them all up together.
Yeah, so we need all them parts together so we can kind of line the whole side up. Obviously the inner wing goes on first, and then we need like the door, jam panel, door step. Is it inner and outer wing?
Inner and outer wing, yeah.
Eight panels. And then the hinges for the door. So we'll get it all set up, get it all on. But so we're gonna start now. And we'll crack on with getting this rusty inner wing off.
Heating all the old under seal up and melting it off to where the spot welds is. There's all these spot welds up here, so we can get out them and drill them out.
So you can see the old spot welds there, can't you? You won't see where they are now, so we'll punch the spot welds and use the spot weld drill to drill them out. You can see down there where I've grinded round, you can see where all the spot welds are. Just round there, the original spot welds, and then underneath you can see, kind of get a glimpse of where they are. Come on, focus. On the bottom there as well. So we'll get all them drilled out. Have you had that one a while, have you?
Yeah, I've had this one a while. This it's a up
on the floor now.
It's a punch I made when I was at school. It's even got my initials stamped on it. Even got my initials stamped on there. GOS.
Come on, forward. There we go. Upside down. Initials stamped on. Made it when you were at school.
I made it when I was at school, huh? I've only had it about 50 years. Well, in a few more years.
80 last week, weren't you? So
I was 80 last week, yeah.
Tells you how old that is. One of the oldest bits of tools we've got in the garage, probably. So this is quite good. You can notice the buffer rust as it breaks through the first layer in the panel. There you go. So it just shows where you've broken through. No need to go any further. So it's just a bit of rust between the two panels. Right, so we've just worked my way through drilling all these original spot welds out. So I'm just going to show a quick tip. A lot of people already know this, but it's just a handy thing. Just when you want to try and spot where the spot welds are, is just, we've obviously cleaned the under seal off there, and I'll just run the flap disc on the grinder across that area where I know there's going to be some spot welds, because I know that's where the dash is on the inside. When I run the flap disc off the grinder across there, you'll see how it highlights where all the spot welds are really well. So that's the tip. I'll just show you quickly how that works. Just pull you in a little bit closer. Right, there we go. So hasn't shown them up quite as well as what it does in some areas, but you can definitely see now you've obviously got one there, one there, one there, another one there, another one there, one there, one there. Looks pretty clean, that area there. Possibly one there, one here. So if you've got a long line of spot welds though, it shows them up really easily with just grinding the paint off, and sort of you see the little indentations. Just so you can easily now punch those now. we're just kind of, as you can see, it's just a bit of a process going round it, tugging away at it once you've, not too much, but just peeling it back gently. And missed a couple there, so to get them two.
It's off.
Hey, she's off.
I'll take that off.
Get in there, eh? That's great. Happy about that? That's
Happy
great.
with that. So, get this bit off here now, and then that's the last of the inner wing now. So all we've got to do now is clean this all up, grind it all back, get all the rust off, do any more repairs that has to be done to it before the new inner wing goes on.
Well, it's finally stopped raining. We can get outside now to have a bit better look at this inner wing and carry on and do a bit more outside. Right then, there we go. So that's all this little area. We can see where we've got to cut back to now. So I've just wire wheeled it up to the point where the you can see solid metal on either side. And so I'll cut that little area out, and we'll make a template just to slot in there. I just bought a new, just a little cheap joggling tool just to put that lip in along that edge. So I'll do that as well. So we'll cut that piece out and then get the template made for it. There you go, that's the template bit in there. And your dad's just saying, obviously, I've cut that template the size, but obviously you can imagine we're going to put a little crease in that for the window rubber. So you're saying obviously that's going to
Yes, aye. Yeah, so we'll leave it just slightly longer.
just a little bit, not much.
So we'll put the groove in it there,
Crease in
and
it.
the crease in it, and then we can always take it off after we get it tacked on.
So the reason for that is obviously the crease is going to take a bit of the length out of it, because we'll leave it as it is, then I'll put the crease in, it'll come down obviously. So we'll need to make it just a bit longer. We'll get that made up.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go, so we'll just get that welded in there now. Just put a bit of zinc primer on the back there, just to preserve that. We'll do the same on the fresh panel and get it welded in. Right then, so that's that piece just held in with the vice grips. I'm going to be starting the centre here, work my way around it. It was quite tricky getting the lip on for the seal in the right place, so I just need to fill that little area there with a bit extra weld, so that's not a problem. That'll weld in fine and linish back, and then we can just, you'll see it when it's finished though. So before I do that, a few people mentioned about the welder, what settings we're using and how it's set up. I'll spin around and show you what I've got it set on and what we're generally using. Right then, so it's just a shot of the front of the welder. So basically we're switched between setting 2 on the amps and setting 3 on the amps. Setting 2 is 60 amps and setting 3 is 90 amps. So setting 2, I'll have the wire feed set at 5 and then just slightly tweak it on 5, very very slight tweaks on 5 just to get it setting so it's welding sweet. And then on setting 3, which to be honest is probably the one I use the most, I'll have that switched up to 6 on the feed, and then again just slight tweaks from 6 just to get it spot on perfect where you feel it's welding nicely. Those settings there are based on using, well for me, 0.6mm wire, which I prefer to use the most, because I've tried it on 0.8mm wire and it does alter the settings. I can't remember the exact settings. Usually you use slightly less wire feed, so if I remember right, if you're on 0.8mm wire, I generally use 2 on the amps, then I'd generally knock that back, so that would be normally 5 if I'm on 2, so I'd normally knock that back I think by about maybe have that about there if I remember right, just above 4, and I think that worked out quite well for the 0.8mm wire. I would imagine, like I say, I'm not a welder, I'm just self-taught, so I probably would imagine it's because the 0.8mm wire carries more heat, so you probably would have slightly less feed maybe. Not 100% on that, but like I say, 0.6mm for us, so 0.6mm, setting 2, 5 on the feed, setting 3, 6 on the feed. Setting 2 is 60 amps and setting 3 is 90 amps. So I've probably made that sound very complicated, but watch it back and then it might become a bit more clear for you. But you'll see now. So right now I'm going to set that on 3. So that's 90 amps. And I've set the feed on 6. This dial here, it's just for spot weld and just basically switches the trigger off every time you pull it. It just gives you a spot weld. So I'll leave that as it is. The gas, I'll show you. I have the gas set on 9 on the flow rate. Kind of see that there, set on 9 on the flow rate. Actually, I've got the bottle switched off, so that's just what's in the bottle, that one. So that's my flow rate. So I've got it on 9. I'm outside, so I might just crank that up a little bit because obviously you get a bit of problem with the wind blowing the gas away. So maybe I'll knock that up a bit, get me dad to watch it, because as you pull the trigger it will drop down just slightly. So I'll get me dad to watch that and maybe just sort of lift it up a little bit. But so I'll crack on. I'll get that bit of repair panel welded in on the back, and you'll see how that works on the set. I've got it there now. Right then, so I'll just linish that all back now. I'll use a new flap disc to 80 grit. Just find it sometimes when you want to work into a nice neat area, or you want to try and make something a nice neat job or something. A brand new flap disc always really helps, just so you're not. My dad making a racket there. So just going. I normally just take my time with a new flap disc, so it kind of makes a neater job. I'll get that on.
Are you going to grind that off for you here, Metson?
I'll grind it off first, aye.
Grind it off first.
Aye.
Go on then. Well, that's all the old inner wing all pulled out now and all prepared, ready for the new inner wing coming now. And then we'll get that one welded in.
So we're just waiting on the new parts come. We thought we might have had them by now, but if we do get them in before I put the video up, I might just bring you along, just seeking those new parts, all the bits that we're going to pick up and where we're getting them from. It's quite interesting, the place where we're getting them from. But so that's all the back end finished. And I think we're going to leave it there. That's going to be it for this episode, I think. But massive thanks again for watching.
Thank you all for all the comments you've given us, and that we're really chuffed a bit with it.
Read every one of them and try to reply to every single one of we can.
Very good.
Been fantastic. Massive thank you for all the comments. Really, really great. But yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, definitely don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it.
Brilliant.
Always like to see the thumbs up. Really good. And if you're new to the channel as well, or if you haven't subscribed, definitely consider subscribing and hit the bell icon so you get a notification when we upload a new video. And yeah, really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to see you on the next one. Take care.
Very good. Thank you very much.